Oh gosh. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm just about to get into this little talk about the heart chakra. I have to excuse me, I'm just now kind of finishing up my lunch. Had a late lunch today. I really wanted to get into the meaning of the heart chakra. And what number signifies it, what it means to become whole. And there's steps to unlocking certain parts of it, understanding certain parts of love within your life. So I know there's like a bit of some confusion over what certain people teach within spirituality about having unconditional love for people and how that is exactly practiced. Of course, we know that our feelings, some feelings of love are deeper than others. Okay? So I'm kind of going to go through and clarify some things, different ways that we're supposed to learn how to love within our lifetime here on earth in order to become fully capable of growing more within learning those types of love and applying it to certain areas of your life. And when I say fully, I'm talking about having a full understanding of these types of love that exist and how you can build more on it. And the learning through building more on it is limitless. But in order to fully be in that capability to love in those certain ways, you have to become aware of it first. You know, because logically, how can a person understand love in a limitless type of way if they don't know different components of love or how to apply it within their life? That's why it's important to gain an understanding first. So it's kind of like knowing the basics first. So fully knowing the basics about these types of love that exist. Okay? So the heart chakra. The heart chakra is the fourth one. And four has a meaning of its own. There's a reason why the chakra is 4. Okay? I don't know if you guys follow numerology. Numbers are like symbols for me. So, like, I pick up certain energies from numbers. And 4 to me, it symbolizes, I would say, coming full circle in something, wholeness or completion, or like a cycle, seasons. You know, there's 4 seasons, phases of things that kind of require you to gain an understanding of something that you're looking at in order to apply yourself with the knowledge and understanding that it contains. So, yeah, 4 to me is a number of like becoming grounded in something, having a foundation to build upon. So it's kind of like the groundwork, the foreground. 4 is very important in a lot of different, cultures and beliefs, as well as, within our lifestyles and everyday shifts of energies throughout our, time span here. So yeah, like I was saying, it's like when I think of 4 as it pertains to the heart, I think of 4 volumes. Like when you're reading books and there's volume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all on up to whatever number, and you kind of go through the steps of learning a certain type of subject. This is what I feel that the heart is made of, is 4 volumes. 4 volumes of love to understand. Okay? So the first thing in understanding is to first acknowledge it, that these 4 volumes are there. Okay, so the volumes. The heart. And this pertains to love, okay? And let's see, let's just go ahead and create a heart right here. And it's split into 4 parts. Okay? So imagine these 4 parts of the heart. They're chambers. 2, 3, 4. Okay? The first chamber deals with your connection to the divine. So knowing the divine love of God. So, divine. That's the first chamber. The second chamber too will have to deal with the love for yourself. Love. Of self. Okay? The third chamber deals with that special kind of love that you give to a significant other. So that would be romantic type of love. And the fourth one has to deal with all things on this earth on a physical plane. So that would mean love for animals, love for the earth, love for your brothers and sisters here that are among you. So 4 deals with the universal love. Of all things. Okay? Now, as we begin this life, from infancy on up through adulthood till we're long gone from this earth, we learn things in these areas of how to give love and receive it. If we came from a very well-balanced home that had spirituality, that had great values that taught you how to respect yourself and care for yourself. You had parents who had a loving relationship and they led by example and taught you how to grow up to be the best husband or wife you could be for your future partner. If you had a home life that instilled values in you through either your culture or even your faith of how to give love to the earth and give back, you have a full knowledge of this type of love that exists. And that's what I mean by full. It's not saying that your heart is, to a capacity that is limited. No, it's saying that capacity in itself, it just means space to fill. Just think of these as spaces, okay? These are all spaces here. When there's space in the heart for these types of love to grow within these chambers, this allows you to view the world differently and to gain perspective in these types of love, what it means to be loving in those types of ways. What conditions and terms come with it? Is that love conditional or unconditional? See, so that kind of helps you see, in this area, these areas of how that love is applied to, your spirituality, the things you physically see, how you look at your own self, and what you're willing to give to a significant other. So imagine if you did not grow up in a healthy environment or family life that had all these qualities of life given to you. What if you didn't have faith? What if you didn't believe in God? Then that means this chamber is closed. There's no space for this type of love to come through it in order to understand the universe in all its complexity, all its limitless opportunities, life-changing altercations, all its beautiful manifestations. This here alone, this is what creates an expansion in life. So to know the love of God is to know that love is limitless. There's so many possibilities to it. But if you're closed off to this knowledge in this area and learning how to view God and see God and sense that presence within your life as well as within everyone else's life, then you're not going to be fully open. Okay? So just imagine these chambers. If you're growing up in a very rough type of family life or home life at the beginning, imagine these chambers being closed because you don't have anybody to open them or open your eyes to awaken that part of your soul, your spirit. Say if you were born in a very rough family life where, say, your parents or aunt, uncle, whoever you're staying with, they didn't teach you how to love yourself. Or say you were bullied all throughout life. People put you down, picked on you, said things about how you looked, that you're not smart, that you're never going to amount to anything, made you feel unworthy. Unworthy of having love in your life, unworthy of having love for yourself, or even understanding or knowing what love is, or knowing how to feel it within your being, because nobody taught you how to love yourself. Imagine if you did not have that type of full understanding that you're capable, you're able, and you deserve love. And you deserve to give it to yourself. Imagine that part not being present within your heart. So that means this chamber 2, is going to be closed. Let's say you're going through life. You see everybody around you, all your friends, they're in relationships. People are happily married. You're constantly going through wondering, how come, I can't find anybody to be with? Why is it so hard for me to keep love in my life? So it's going to be hard for you to fully accept that there is hope for you, that there is love that you do deserve in life. So sometimes some people, they give up on the romantic feelings. They give up on ever, feeling that they could find someone out there that's right for them. So this part will end up being closed off. The universal love of all things. Say if people were always mistreating you outside of your life, or you see a lot of negative things going on in social media, government, whatnot, that makes you change your view of the world. You feel like the world is not a safe place to live in. You don't feel that type of trust. So sometimes, like, you're going to end up having this resentment towards, all these restrictions in life. You feel limited. So you're going to end up having some type of resentment towards certain things in life. Maybe even towards people in general, the public, your general view of how you think people function. So it's kind of like you close yourself off to believing that there is good in the world. Maybe you don't respect the earth as much as you should, because maybe nobody taught you how to take care of the land. Maybe nobody taught you that what you put into land is what you get out of it. Because this is the type of world we're living in right now. This physical plane of existence here is very special. It's very unique, because this is the one planet where when you put something into it, you're going to get something out of it. Whatever energy you place there, that's what you're going to get tenfold. That's the way how this world works. That's why anything here can be manifested, and it's all manifested through your thought. Through your thought, your values, and your belief systems. And when you don't believe in either of these types of love, it can create a lot of chaos in your life. It can create a lot of misunderstandings. It can create an inability to grow. Okay? Because imagine that your heart is so closed off, it's like a fist. A tight fist. There's so much resistance in it. Somebody tries to open you up, but you keep closing because you're so, you're so protective. You're so defensive. You're so afraid of getting hurt. You're so in this way of not feeling that you're ever going to achieve things in life, because you don't fully value love in ways that you're supposed to. You don't appreciate yourself enough. That's why you lack confidence. When you don't have love for yourself, you're going to lack confidence. You're going to lack hope in yourself. You're not going to feel like you're amounting to anything in life. You're going to give up constantly and very easily. You're going to be easily distracted off course in your goals, ambitions, whatever your heart desires and what you hope for. That's the thing about that, the self-love. What are you willing to give to yourself? What are you willing to invest in yourself in order to feel a happiness unlike you've ever felt before? Same way with the rest of these, romantic love. And see, the thing is that when your heart is closed in certain areas, it affects your life in various ways. So it's important to be aware of how you love. Be aware of how you love, because when you're not aware of what chambers are closed off to giving and receiving love, that can trickle into your life in some type of way. And I'll show you by example, okay? So, let's say that let's say you have really good faith in God, and you're praying for a romantic relationship to develop in your life. But let's just say that, you're always constantly giving to people. Giving. You're using this universal love of all things. You're constantly giving your love, your effort, your time, your patience. You're praying to God, like, I hope one day God will grant me, love in my life, true love. I'm giving all this out into the universe. I'm trying to be open to receiving what God has in store for me. And let's say you go and meet somebody, they seem cool, but then later on you find out you guys are not compatible, or there's something about it that seems like, every time you try to get close to somebody, they end up kind of pushing you away because maybe they see something within yourself that you're not quite looking at. Maybe you had so many heartbreaks in your life that you really truly didn't feel worthy of love deep down. Maybe you have a different type of issue with your confidence. Maybe you don't feel like you like yourself enough when you look in the mirror. Maybe you don't feel like, maybe you need more validation that you're lovable. That's why you're looking for a romantic relationship, to validate that you are worthy of something. Or for God to show you that you're worthy of something by giving you a romantic relationship, so that way you can learn how worthy you are. Because you know how worthy everybody else is, but you don't know how worthy you are. So this is the way how sometimes the divine works. Sometimes these romantic relationships fail because there's something you're overlooking. You're overlooking this right here. Sometimes the divine wants you to take a look at yourself first and build up your self-worth in order to attract this in your life. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's why they say sometimes it's best to be alone and learn to love yourself before getting into a relationship. Because sometimes those relationships can become codependent when you're dependent on somebody for your own self-worth. When you have it within yourself to be loving, to be the type of divine love that God has for you, and apply it to yourself. You see, everybody has a divine feminine. And masculine nature. And this right here, this is like the yin and yang, okay? This is the yin and yang of our energy. Every person has this within themselves. We have a time when we're soft, like the feminine energy. We have a time when we have to be strong, like the masculine. We have a time when we create, like the woman, how she creates life, gives birth. We have a time when we have to build, when we have to take action, like the men, like our warriors. That's the way to really understand the types of energies that we contain within ourselves. So with our divine feminine, We apply love to ourselves. Love to ourselves, to nurture ourselves. And if we're single, we have to have a type of masculine nature to say, I can be my own best friend. I can love myself and show myself that I am worthy. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of all this goodness that I want to have within my life. I'm worthy of giving myself this healing of my low self-esteem, so that way I can build that frequency up in order to attract another higher frequency that is a match to my own. So that's why it's very important to take a look at, certain areas of love in your life and why certain things don't occur within your life, because perhaps there is a part of you, a part of your heart chakra that's blocked, a certain chamber. When you unlock all these chambers, it opens a very limitless view and consciousness of all things that occur in this world, within yourself, and within the universe. And this gives you an idea of how to manifest things with your good intention. The good intention to love all things, the good intention to love yourself unconditionally, the good intention that you have to do God's will and do right by others, the good intention to do right by another person that you share a very strong bond, a loving connection with, a person that is your opposite, whether it be a male or female energy. This teaches you a lot about yourself and your abilities. So you become awakened in all these areas of your heart chakra. You become unblocked to limitless potential, limitless manifestations in your life. Giving your love selflessly. Giving that selflessly with the intent to create goodness in this world, create a good vibration that is truly looked at upon by the higher power. And that's when everything begins working in your favor. Things start aligning. Things start falling into place one by one. But you have to be consistent in these areas. You have to be consistent, in what your intentions are. And you have to be very consistent with the energy of love. You have to be it. So four in its nature, it means be. Be all this. Be love. Be your whole self in love. So that way you can understand that whole self of who you are has so much limitless potential. So much limitless possibility to become something greater. To become unbreakable. To become powerful. To influence change. And I'm just going to say this right here. This is just something I'm going to go ahead and throw in right now, since we're on the topic of love. I was talking about the divine feminine and divine masculine. There's people within this world right now. People that have went through a lot of shit in life. They have a lot of experience. They know what it's like to put themselves in everybody else's shoes. They know how to understand. They know how to communicate with people. They know how to influence people in positive ways. They're doing God's work. Okay? these men and women, they have a vibration right now in this world that's supposed to uplift the charge of the energies here on earth. That's supposed to raise the vibration and cause a massive change. This is why a lot of people, especially those in the divine masculine and feminine nature who know the rights and wrongs and the laws of nature, laws of divine, and try their best to abide by it. That's why these people are going through so much hardship right now in trying to find themselves, trying to gain their grounding in what their true purpose is on life. Some of these people are with individuals or caught up in relationships that are very abusive, very manipulative. It's to cause their vibration to go down. But that's not what God intended them to be. God intended them to be these individuals with high vibration that can create positive change and push forward the plan that this world needs to come into, the change. So these people are having a hard time. A lot of people are breaking up in their relationships. A lot of people are finding like, this person doesn't resonate with me anymore because I'm not learning anything from them. I'm not learning how to be my best self in love. This person doesn't make me feel like I can love myself. They're constantly criticizing me. They're not teaching me a better way to be, how I can be my best self with somebody, how I can learn and grow with them, because I'm always the one giving, and they're not reciprocating that type of love in the relationship. It's still on a low vibrational frequency. That's why right now there's a lot of people that are being called to get out of that. Those are karmic types of connections. That is one of the reasons, why they have to learn how to tackle cutting ties. They have to learn and meet that challenge, what is required, for strength on a mental, physical, emotional level, and spiritual as well. And understand that type of work is required first before you get to finding the person that truly resonates with you within this divine nature. Because once you meet the person within that divine energy, that nature, it's going to open up other chakras. It's going to open up a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom. You're going to meet somebody you're going to learn from. They're going to learn from you as well. And that's the harmony of a relationship. That's the unconditional love of a relationship, is knowing each other has flaws, but willing to put in the effort and work to fix that. Because a lot of times those flaws, those ways of believing and, our habits and stuff, those things are taught to us. And those things are not exactly the truth of who we truly are. So that's just something that I kind of wanted to bring up since we're on the topic. Because I'm really finding this a lot here on a very deep level with a lot of people. So that's kind of like the main energy that's hanging around lately. Been talking to a lot of people, seeing what a lot of people are going through right now. And so, I just want to say that a lot of these things are karmic. You got to learn from this first, like the being in those types of negative relationships and how to get out of it in order to really truly tell this universe you're ready to take a change, to take a stand, to be in your place of where you were intended to be. Because a lot of people, they kind of got let off track, So it's kind of like me being here trying to put everybody back on track and kind of give you guys a perspective, because I know a lot of people are feeling a little bit, lost in, who they truly are, what's going on. It seems like everything's just coming to shit. Usually things come to shit is because you're not on the right path. You know, it's kind of like saying stop. You know, we need to stop this. We need to get things back on track. You know, so it's important to listen to those types of messages, you know, that universe is telling you. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll probably be coming back later on and sharing some more with you guys. And so you guys all take care and have a good evening. And peace.